Hi, it's Mike from Mike's Unboxing and Reviews and How To, and on today's video I'm going to show you how to do a USB BIOS flashback for your MSI B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. It's a pretty straightforward thing to do. In terms of on paper it looks very easy, but there's some things which can go wrong along the way. So I'm going to try and make this as simple and straightforward as possible. I'm going to go through in some detail as well, so for those of you that are doing this for the first time, a little bit cautious, then hopefully this video is going to put your mind at ease and hopefully make the transfer process go very well indeed. So things you're going to need. You're going to need a working PC to be able to download the new BIOS and also to format your USB drive if it's not formatted already. You will also need a USB flash drive, ideally 32 gigabytes or less. That way you can format it to the FAT32 partitioning system, which is necessary. If you've got a larger drive, you can create a smaller partition on that drive. We've done a video on that. I'll link that in the video description so you can check it out as well. It doesn't always work quite as well, so you may have to try and find a suitable drive. The ones that we use, SanDisk Flare, works very, very well. I use it in pretty much every single video. Highly recommended. I'll link those in the video description also. Something else you need, obviously the motherboard itself and somewhere to position it so it's nice and safe and secure. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, Mike, do you need to do this on a bare board? And I say this quite a few times. You can do it on a fully built system. The only problem with that is if for some reason the BIOS doesn't flash, then you don't know if it's one of the other components on the motherboard which is causing your problems. So ideally, you want to do this first of all on a bare board, take off the RAM, all that kind of stuff. At the very minimum, if you have got a fully built system, I would strongly suggest moving something like the RAM, possibly the graphics card, just to prevent the system from trying to boot up. You will also need some way of powering your motherboard whilst in this state. So we've got a power supply here. You will only need to use two connectors on the motherboard. One is the main 24-pin power connector, and the other one is your EPS or CPU power connector in the top left-hand corner of your motherboard. This particular board has two 8 pins. Doesn't really matter which one you use. You can, if you want to, use both. The choice is entirely up to you. Or if you've just got a very old power supply, you can get away with just using a simple 4-pin one, but your mileage may vary. So ideally try and use an 8-pin one. So I think that is pretty much it for an intro. Let's head over to the computer and I'll show you how to format your USB drive, how to download the BIOS, how to extract the file, how to rename it, and then how to put it back onto a USB drive ready for flashing. Okay, so let's do the slightly easier bit first. So this is the website for the B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. If you head over to the main page, then you want to go over to the support tab. And in the support tab, you've got options here for drivers and downloads. And we want to go over to the BIOS section, which is already highlighted there. And you can scroll down. There's going to be a bunch of different BIOSes here which are available. I would always suggest going for the latest one. Potentially you may find that there is a beta version which is available. Just read through and see what it says. Generally go for a full fat version rather than a beta if at all possible. So this is our file. This is the very latest one. So we're going to click on download. We're going to save this to our Windows desktop so it's nice and easy to find. And that is pretty much it. So we can close this window now. We don't really need it. So here is our BIOS file on our Windows desktop. So let's right click on that and we'll choose extract all. We'll extract it to the same location, so click extract. This is going to give us our folder, and in the folder there'll be two files. One is a text file telling you about the BIOS file, the other one is the BIOS file itself. If you're going to be updating the BIOS from actually within the BIOS and you have a currently working system, you can just transfer this file onto your USB drive straight away and that will be absolutely fine. But if you're doing this as a bare system, and you're doing it as the USB flashback to get a system working, you need to rename this file so that the motherboard can actually recognize it, because in its current state, the motherboard has no idea what this actually is. So let's rename the file. Now you do need to make sure that you can see the file extensions. So if you can, go into view, and you can go into show, and then you can show file name extensions there, and also potentially hidden items if that's not already ticked. And what we want to do is to rename this file to msi.rom. So click on this section, delete everything which is there, and just type in MSI, full stop, or dot, then ROM. When you're happy, press enter. You'll get a warning message come up saying if you rename this, it'll become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? Yes, we are. And there we go. So that is our ROM file. So now we can go over to our USB drive, which I'm about to put in. This drive, as you can see, has a previous BIOS on it. So let's format the drive just to be on the safe side. So we can find our USB drive, I'm going to right click, We're going to choose Format, and we can choose these default settings here. If yours says NTFS or exFAT, you want to change that to FAT32. Also, if there's anything written in the volume label, I would strongly suggest removing that as well. Sometimes that can cause problems. This will erase the drive in its entirety, so make sure you're happy to do so before you continue. Click on Start. You will get a warning message saying that this is going to erase all data, and if you're okay with that, click OK. If you're unsure and you want to see if there's any data on it, click Cancel. So we're going to click OK. And there we go. There is our USB drive formatted. So now what we can do, we'll go back to our unzipped file here. I'm going to right click on it. We're going to choose Cut. Then we're going to go to our USB drive. I'm going to right click and choose Paste. You can drag and drop however you want to do it. Make sure the file, when you look at it, says it's a ROM file, and also it has the file size of around about 32 megabytes or 32,000 kilobytes. When you're happy, you can remove that drive from the system, and then we can go over to our test bench to get the BIOS flashed. So now we've got our USB drive ready, we can get our platform set up here. So I've got the box underneath the board just to keep it nice and stable. Again, nothing actually on it. Got our power supply here with our 2 cables which are connected. This is a modular power supply, so your power supply may have those already attached anyway. So we're going to plug in, first of all, the EPS connection, which goes into the top left-hand corner of the motherboard, which hopefully you can see from the overhead shots. Make sure that snaps into position. And then we want to do our 24-pin main power connection, which is this one along here. Next, we can take our power cord and plug it into the power supply. Make sure it's in the off position. Next, take your USB flash drive and put it into the USB flashback port. If you're not too sure which of the ports on the back of the motherboard is the one actually suitable for BIOS flashing, if you grab your I/O shield, you can see it does actually state on the bottom there, BIOS flashback. So if you look at your Ethernet port, it's the one at the very bottom below that. So now we can stick our USB drive into the flashback port. Now we can turn on our power supply. And the next thing we want to do is to press the USB flashback button, which is located in the top corner here. Press and hold it for about 2 or 3 seconds and release it, and then just wait, and you should find that the BIOS LED will illuminate. Power supply might start spinning depending on your type of power supply, but essentially it should start the process. What we're aiming for is to see the USB flashback BIOS light flash a few times and then change speed. If it flashes a few times and then stops, that means it can't read either your USB stick or potentially the BIOS file actually on the drive. A little bit of a side note, if you've got one of these motherboards and it's come from OEM, such as iBuyPower or whatever the kind of pre-built PC is, you might find that there's a custom BIOS actually on their website. So do check out the manufacturer's website if your motherboard hasn't come from some sort of retail outlet like Amazon or Best Buy, that kind of thing. So we're going to press and hold the BIOS flashback button for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3. And hopefully there you can just about see there is the BIOS flashback LED. It's flashed a couple of times. Our power supply has come on and started up. We've also got some LEDs over here for the diagnostic DLED. It's currently stuck on CPU and RAM, which is absolutely fine. As long as our USB light is flashing, that means it's actually working, and hopefully you can just about see it's changed speed. So what we want to do now is just wait until that light is finished flashing, turns itself off, and you may actually hear at the very end your power supply click on or click off as it reboots itself. So let's let it carry on doing that. Should take somewhere in the region of about 3 to 5 minutes, so just be patient and let it do its thing. So there you go. We heard the power supply click off and the USB flashback light has extinguished itself. It's now rebooted itself, so we've got the error lights on the motherboard. So at this point now, we can assume that the BIOS flash has been successful. So you can just turn off your power supply, wait for the lights to go out. At this point now, the choice is yours. You can either go ahead and do your full build in your system, power supply clicked off again, or you can, if you want to, I would probably suggest put your processor on, some RAM, and just make sure that it boots. Make sure you can get to a BIOS screen, potentially if you've got your M.2 drives or SSDs connected as well. Just make sure that it kind of boots and is visible, all that kind of usual stuff. But otherwise, I think that is pretty much it. Hopefully this video has been useful to you. If it has, smash that like button. If something didn't go quite right and you need a little bit more help in, then please head over to our Discord, or alternatively, just leave a comment in the comments section down below and I'll try and get around to answering your questions as soon as I can. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.